I'm so excited. I am so excited. Welcome to the Pink Table. It is your girl, Katrina Harris Earl, and I am so excited. National Sales Director with Mary Kay for over 30 years. Can you believe it? And I am excited to welcome you to the Pink Table. And today is episode 2, and I am bringing to the table my girlfriend who is from Modesto, California. You're going to get to know a little bit more about her, but she's a big deal in our company and an amazing entrepreneur. And we're just going to be talking about success and what it looks like for entrepreneurs, how she has done this business, married so well, how she's done this life so well as a mom, as a grandma. We'll find out what her grandma Gigi name is, and I'm excited. So here she goes. Big round of applause. We'll add some round of applause next time. Dorothy, there she is. Yay. How are you, girlfriend?
I am excellent, and I'm so excited to be here with you today, Katrina.
Excellent. You came to the pink table. You got your pink flowers back there. And I told Corrin, I'm painting my office today, so I'll be in another location in my house. You can't tell I was painting, okay? Even one wall is black, okay? So I clean my hands real good. As a matter of fact, I'm not the one that's been painting, but I've been doing a really good job of supervising. What have you been doing on Sunday afternoon with the fam, or what are you doing today?
Yeah, so started out with church this morning, and then I volunteer at my church in the cafe. So on Sunday mornings, I'm a barista, and I can make you just about any coffee drink that you would like.
I love it. Well, this is just amazing. And I want to welcome all of those that are in the house. Go ahead and tag your guest. If you're a guest, beauty consultants, let us know that you are there. Let us know what city you are chiming in from. I see Talisa, I see Shirley, I see Relinda, I see Marche. Hey, Ashley. Namie, am I saying your name right? Mary, just super excited for lots of people. Well, we come together on these pink table talks, and we're talking about things that women want to know, things that entrepreneurs want to know, so many fun things. And Corrin, you and I go way back, probably at least 20 years. I don't know, maybe more. Okay. So I want you to say, when and why did you decide to become an entrepreneur? So talk to us about that. When and why did you decide?
Yeah, so I was 30 years old. I had gotten married, bought a house, had 2 children, didn't have a picket fence, but, I was on my way to a picket fence.
Yeah.
And I had a job, a career for a travel company, American Express Travel. I'd been with them for 9 years. I'd kind of gone as high as I could within that organization. So I was 30. And you know what happens whenever you hit like a birthday milestone? You have these like major life moments.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is this all there is? Like, is this it? Because this is not what I had envisioned for myself. And I just had this feeling of being grateful in life. Like I'm a grateful person. So I was grateful for my husband and my home and my kids and my job. And I was grateful, but I was unfulfilled. And I was thinking there has to be something more and something more rewarding. And so I just kind of started searching for things. And, this was 23 years ago. 23
Wow.
years ago, the options were go back to school, get a little retail job on the side to make friends, get a hobby, or direct sales were not the thing they are today. And my direct sales options, if I'm remembering correctly, was I could sell crystal glasses or plastic bowls. And I was like,
Knives was one
no,
of mine.
but I could also sell Mary Kay, which was, I was a customer. I was using the product. I had just never connected the dots that I could go from being a customer to taking a product that I was using and loving and actually turn it into a career. So it was just this combination of like 30 and there's got to be something out there for me, and what could it be? And I listened to some information about Mary Kay, maybe much like some women on this event today are listening, and then my dots connected.
I
Yeah.
love that. I love that so much. I didn't know we had that in common, but for me, I became an entrepreneur in this business 30 years ago, and it was around my birthday. I mean, that was
Mhm.
when I wasn't a customer already. So I tried the product as a birthday gift and then decided right after my birthday, because the same thing happened. And I love how you said I was grateful but unfulfilled. I think a lot
Mhm.
of women can relate to that. And it's one of the reasons, we had some really great bosses, some not so great bosses, but never a better boss than yourself, right? Okay.
That's right.
I love it. I love it. Tell me a little bit about your family, just so people know. Married, kids. Tell
Yeah.
us about your family makeup when you started and what it looks like right now.
Yeah, so when I started Mary Kay, I have the same husband. So I had a husband then. I still have him today. So we've actually this year will have been married 31 years. And yeah, and we have 2 daughters. They were 1 and 4 years old when I started my Mary Kay business.
Wow.
And today they are both beautiful mothers. I have 4 grandbabies with a 5th one on the way. One of my daughters is a top seller in my unit, a star team builder, and we actually just relocated her from California to Oklahoma. Her and her
Wow.
husband and kids all just moved like literally last week. My husband and I
Wow.
went back and helped them kind of settle into their new place. So yeah, yeah,
That is
we got it.
awesome. Awesome. I
Mhm.
love it. And what's your grandma name? Mine is Gigi.
Mine is Glammy, glamorous grandma. It's glammy. And the thing is, like, my oldest granddaughter is 3.5, and I didn't realize, but like they have to be older before they can put a G and an L together. So so I'm not really glammy. Yet not yet. Gammy and like all kinds of things, but one
All kinds
day
of things.
I'll be glammy.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. My mom is Grammy. I am Gigi. So it's fun. I mean,
Yes.
something new. They didn't have that when we started either. It was just one name, right?
Right.
Grandma. So now we got sexy grandmas. So we got to be
Right.
put your grandma name in the chat if we have some other grandmas in the chat. So talk to me about what's the key to long-term success all these years. You said how many years as an entrepreneur?
23
23
years.
years. Okay.
Mhm.
So, wow, that's like 53 years between the two of us. Lean in. You could learn some stuff. So, what's been the key to long-term success, Corinne?
I when I think about like the 23 years, which they have really flown by, I'm very surprised at how even when I say 23, I'm like, gosh, that sounds like a long time, but it doesn't feel like a long time.
Mhm.
I think we have a huge bonus in Mary Kay that this is such a fun, evolving business that those 23 years, they just they're going like that. They're so much fun each year. But I would say that my long-term success key, it would be start and don't stop. Like
Uh-huh.
when I think of like it's like a simple concept, but that kind of defines what I've done for 23 years. Like I got started and then I just haven't stopped. I've never had quitting moments. I've had doubting moments, but I've never had quitting moments. I've
Mhm.
just been like, until God calls me in a completely different direction, and He'll make it clear if He does, this is where I am. This is what I'm supposed to do. So I just have to keep going. And, that sounds kind of simple, but that's what I've done.
And the fact that that would be my answer too kind of leads us to say that that's a major reason that people are successful in direct sales, in really anything that they do, right? Is start and don't quit.
Don't stop.
As long as you're clear, this is where God has called you to be. I mean, like a really big deal. That is so amazing. So, starting with young kids, now with mature family,
Right.
and babies that will call you Glammy. Okay.
One day.
How did you work it as a stay-at-home mom? Like, what's the key to keeping that happy home and being a boss? Because you didn't just, you're not just an entrepreneur, you're at the top of your game. Most people's businesses, they go in business and out of business in less than a year, less than 2 years. So you've done this, you've sustained it, and you've also sustained a great marriage. Okay. Everybody loves everybody up in there. So what kind of dog do you have? I see your dog on, don't you have an animal?
We have two little
2.
dogs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
Facebook. I only know them through Facebook, so I
Right.
so everybody looks happy, even the dogs look happy. So what has been the key to that?
Well, I think that as women and wives and mothers, it goes back to that, old saying, which is if mama's happy,
Mhm.
everybody's happy. And, there was definitely a time when I was working outside of the home prior to Mary Kay. I was not happy. I was a completely different person, really, when I think about it. I was very caught up in office politics because it was my life, this job that I had, so I was very caught up in the dynamics and the women I worked with. And I would bring that home, of course. And I wasn't very happy. And I don't think that my family, probably looking back, was very happy either, because we are such a strong force, like as women. I mean, we really, really are. And so when I switched over into Mary Kay, and I worked my full-time job and did my Mary Kay business for 1 year. And then I was like, something has to give.
Mhm. Mhm.
Something's going to have to give here. I can't burn the candle at both ends forever.
Mhm.
And decided to take that leap into full-time entrepreneurship. I became a happier person because I was the one now in charge of myself and my time. I was in charge of my thoughts.
Mhm.
That's a lot of responsibility, but there's a lot of freedom in that
Mhm.
as well. I
Mhm.
used to have a boss. I had two female bosses that didn't like each other. So
Mm.
who do you think they took that out on every day?
Wow.
And one of them, when it'd be like 9:45 in the morning, and if myself and another coworker there was nothing to do, maybe we were having a little side conversation about life, she would
Mhm.
send one of us to lunch. She would say, "If you two don't need to be sitting and talking like that, Corinne, you go take your lunch." And I'd be like, "It's 9:45 in the morning. I'm not hungry."
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Isn't it
But
great to be in control of your time? And
yes,
I love how you said being in control of your own thoughts, because we don't realize how much being in an environment where we're not totally happy, how much that shifts and our mental health and just everything about us, right? Just
everything. And when you have this is what my experience was. I had a taste of freedom. I had a taste of I get to be at home and I get to be the boss. I didn't look at it like I get to be at home and I get to lounge around. I just got to boss myself around, and
Mhm.
I'm kind of bossy. So
Mhm.
it worked out well for me.
We have that in common too. Get excited. I love it. Even my dog's bossy. We got a lot of bossy people here. And I married someone who's even more bossy than me. So I've learned how to, let him be the boss in his zone. And so you do tell us about when you are an entrepreneur. Of course, there are ups and there are downs. Talk to us about a time that you've experienced failure where you had a goal and you didn't hit it. And how have you learned how to navigate through failure? Because that's one of the reasons, if people don't accept that everything's not going to be, just perfect, that's one of the reasons people quit, is because they don't know how to navigate through failures. And you cannot win if you do. You can't make baskets and become Michael Jordan if you don't miss some or a lot of them. Okay, so how have you navigated through the F word, failure?
Well, that was something that struck me by surprise in the beginning. It really was. So it was something that I think the first time I missed a goal, it kind of knocked me off my game a little bit. But as an entrepreneur, we're always in a learning process.
Mhm.
And so, listening to somebody like yourself give advice, which is, well, that's part of winning is part of failing. The two go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other.
Mhm.
In this business, especially a business like ours, I've had far more goals I've ever missed than I've made.
Mhm.
So I think it's something that you will grow into if you allow it.
Mhm.
I can look at things now and I can say like, oh, well, that's me. That's totally on me. I dropped the ball. Like that failure is totally on me. I own that. I know how to do it differently next time. I can recognize the red flag, the trigger earlier next time, and not let that happen again.
Mhm.
There are other times where failure has stumped me. I've
Mhm.
been like, gosh, I gave it my all.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
I tried hard on that one, and oh, we got so close. And there's got to be a lesson in there. I've got to figure that piece out. Sometimes failure has caused me to really be aware that I'm missing a skill,
Mm.
Failure has just been like this big, like, wow, this is like the third time, Corrin.
Uh-huh.
You better develop that skill. You better, learn it this time. But the wins are so good, and I love winning, that
Mhm.
I'm willing to experience failure over and over and over again so I can win again.
I mean, you hit the ball out of the park. When people say to me, I'm afraid to travel, I'm like, oh my gosh, you've got to get over that fear, because there's nothing like seeing the world. When you said that the winds are so sweet, I mean, you cannot experience the level of sweet wins that we've had if you aren't willing to throw your heart over the line and fail. And that is just so, so, so good. And this is such a rich conversation. You talked early in the conversation about little about being at church. So your relationship with the Lord, your spiritual walk, because that failure, wouldn't you agree, the skill you've learned, it helps you to grow spiritually, because this business challenges you to be a better you. So how would you say over those 23 years you've grown, just as a person, not just as an entrepreneur?
I think that if I had to sum up my entire career with Mary Kay, one of the things I'm so, so very grateful for is the personal growth. And that's not something I signed up for. I didn't think there was anything wrong with me 23 years ago. So,
As most
now
30-year-olds
I
do.
look back and I'm like, oh, I'm so grateful that I was surrounded by other women like yourself, other strong entrepreneurs, faith-filled entrepreneurs that really pulled that out of me, that really caused me to dig into that, even deeper. Yeah,
Mhm,
I've been so grateful to have been able to plug in to so many different like women's Bible studies and do I do a daily devotional every day. And I mean, my faith and my business to me are like this.
mhm,
One doesn't exist really without the other. And I was at church this morning, and it's like this weekly refill, like it's like a weekly recharge. The big one is on Sundays, but
mhm,
then it's my responsibility Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday to
mhm,
keep plugged in.
mhm,
And failure, I turn to faith.
mhm.
Success, I turn to my faith. I mean, it's just like this to me. I can't exist one without the other.
Mhm. This is so good. And with so much that's going on in the world, and the crazy that you experience, you don't have to leave your city, but of course it's in the city, the town, the state, the country, the globe. This being in an environment where you're challenged to be your best, and to also see the positive side of things. How can I use this? I mean, it's just, there's so many skills. We could go on and on and on. So as we wrap it up today, I'm so excited you've been at the pink table. I have two more questions for you, but one of them is, what's next? What's next for Corinne?
Oh, what's next? Well, my heart's desire, since I've been able to know um what a calling was since I
Uh-huh.
came into Mary Kay, is really to hold the position that you have, Katrina, which is really to aspire to that national sales director level. So, what's next?
Uh-huh.
That's what's next. It's always what's next. It's just looming out there. It's like, Corinne, when you're ready for it, it's ready
Yep.
for you. And I think that now that I've gotten to a certain age, it makes me feel like, okay, we need to get serious about this.
Well, we are ready for you. You have every skill that is necessary there. You're just amazing. And one of the things I love so much about you, Corinne, is how consistent you are. You're consistently consistent. And that is really an amazing compliment that I hope many of our viewers can say about themselves and the people that are in their circle. So I appreciate you. We're going to give a little bit of an offer for our guest today, and we always do that from a favorite product. So, what is your favorite product, Corinne?
So I have many favorite products in Mary Kay. So, but today's favorite product is the Clinical Solutions C plus resveratrol line reducer. And the reason it's my favorite is that as I've been collecting grandchildren over the last few years, I've been working really hard to not collect extra wrinkles at the same time. And so I have used Mary Kay for 25 years. So I have good skin. Like,
Uh-huh.
thanks to Mary Kay, I do have really great skin. But I'll be 54 this year, and I really was starting to develop, those ones right here,
Yeah,
especially.
the ones I filled in before we came live.
Oh yeah, like those were, and I was like, oh man, like okay, this product game changer. I'm on my 4th bottle of it because I got an early launch of it, so I've had a little earlier, and I'm telling you, this product works. Line reducer works. I mean, I do put it all over, but it does definitely work on those forehead wrinkles.
I love it. I love it. Yes, I would say that's probably the bottle I'm on. I'm 55, so so we've done this. I've done it in my 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. You started in your 30s. This is really cool. So
We look good, Katrina.
I know. Can
We
you
look
believe it?
good.
I was in there buying the paint with my husband's son, and the guy was referring to him. I said, "No, that's not my husband. Okay, his dad. My husband's got a gray beard. Okay, he's the son." So yeah, that happens all the time. It happens all the time. So today, for our guests that are watching today, normally it retails for 38, but you can hit up your beauty consultant, and she'll offer this C plus resveratrol line reducer for only 32. Today, you have 24 hours to claim that. And so tonight, make sure you tag her, even if you're not taking advantage of that special today. We want to let you know that let your beauty consultant know that you were on, because those of you that are in the Solid as a Rock area, if you are connected to our area, your name, every one of those guests is going in $1,000 drawing. So we're giving away $1,000, 500 to the beauty consultant, 500 to the guest. And so make sure you let her know you're on, because she may or may not know that you're on. So make sure you do that. And if you decided that you would not just like to be at the pink table with us today, but be all the way into the pink bubble, oh my gosh, this career is so amazing. It's so simple. 30 years later, here I am. And some people start for a little bit of a pink hobby to make some extra cash. Some people want to have a side gig, and this is really, really that. And some people want to be like Corrin and myself and go for the gusto and make this your full-time gig where you can support your family. And so it's only $30 to get started. $30 holla we talk about. It's an e-start. So for $30, you get a secure way to accept credit cards, and you get your website. So that is the first way you can start. Very simple. You make that decision today, and you're in business. If you are one who says, I would love to actually get something in the mail. Sometimes, folks want actual product in the mail. So you start with the full starter kit, and you get $400 worth of our amazing product, our most popular product line that you can use for demoing when you do your lives and so forth, whether you're doing it in person or virtual, because really so much of what we're doing is virtual. Some are 100% virtual, some are hybrid. I don't think anybody is really 100%. Well, there's very few people that are 100% in person, but the nice thing is you can meet on one side, the other side are in the middle, and you get that full starter kit for $130, and it gets you the product as well as the credit card processing system and the website. And you also can add a sample pack to either one of those. So you could do 30, 75 with the sample pack, which gets you enough samples for 30 of your first initial clients. Or you could do the full starter kit plus the sample pack for 175. So any of those ways. I know back in the day, people would say, I don't even know if I'm ready to get started. And I promise, don't overthink it. It's really fun. Come have fun with us and see what happens. And we just appreciate you. Everybody who's on today, not only are you in the drawing, but we want to invite you back for another date. So we, every Thursday at 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. Pacific time, and every Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, we do what we call our second date. We have a spa session, there's a foot session, there's a hydra session, a makeup session, some really fun things that are taking place. Your beauty consultant can give you all the information about that. And again, for attending these, it's another way that you get into the drawing, and we'll mail you a fun little sample pack. You can RSVP with your beauty consultant, and we'll get that out to you, and you can join us. And then every Tuesday, we also do something really fun on Facebook. And so those of you that are watching via YouTube or on my fan page will see it this Tuesday. I don't think I gave Dorothy that flyer, but it's tool time. We are going to be talking about all the tools, makeup tools that you need and how to use them. So that lasts about 20 to 30 minutes. It's a lot of fun. And you get entered into the drawing for attending. So, Corrin, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you so much for being at the pink table, and I appreciate you guys for joining in. And I can't wait to watch you. You know, we are headed on that NSD trip, and I'll be thinking about you, and can't wait to have you join us very, very soon. So, but I know you're slaying it as a top director in our company, and I'm excited to watch your win for this year. So, you guys, bye bye. We will see you later. Bye bye.
Bye.